Ever wondered what happened to the men who walked with Jesus, who ate with him, laughed with him, cried with him, and watched him die? Let's go back to where it all ended and where their real mission began. Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed the Son of God with a kiss. Overcome by guilt, he returned the silver, but it was too late. He died by his own hand, a life lost in despair before the resurrection ever happened. Peter, the bold one, the rock. He denied Jesus 3 times, yet was restored by his love. Peter preached with fire, healed the sick, and led the early church. He is believed to have helped establish the church in Rome, becoming its first bishop, and later known as the first pope. Under Emperor Nero, he was sentenced to death, but he insisted on being crucified upside down, saying he was not worthy to die like his savior. Andrew, Peter's brother, the quiet bringer. He carried the gospel to what is now Russia and Greece. They say he was crucified on an X-shaped cross, still preaching with his final breaths. James, son of Zebedee, one of the sons of thunder. He was the first of the 12 to be martyred, killed by the sword under King Herod Agrippa in Jerusalem. His death lit a fire that only made the church stronger. John, the beloved disciple, the only one who stayed at the cross. He cared for Mary, the mother of Jesus. He preached in Asia Minor and was exiled to the island of Patmos, where he received the revelation. They tried to boil him in oil, but he lived. He died an old man in Ephesus, the last living witness of Christ's ministry. Philip. He carried the gospel to Syria and Phrygia. He was tortured and crucified for his faith, but not before converting many with his calm wisdom and fire-filled words. Bartholomew, also called Nathaniel, he traveled far, to India, Armenia, and beyond. He was flayed alive for preaching Christ, yet his name echoed long after, in places that never forgot his sacrifice. Thomas, the doubter turned believer. He touched the risen Christ, then walked away forever changed. He traveled all the way to India, where he preached, built churches, and baptized multitudes. He was speared to death, but his legacy lives on in Indian Christianity to this day. Matthew, the tax collector turned gospel writer. He brought the message to Ethiopia and Persia. He died by the sword, a martyr for the Messiah he once followed from a tax booth. James, son of Alphaeus. Not much is written of him, but tradition tells us he led the church in Jerusalem. He was stoned, then beaten to death for his unshakable faith. Thaddeus, also known as Jude, the disciple who asked Jesus, "Why reveal yourself to us and not the world?" He preached in Mesopotamia and Persia, where he was clubbed to death for the truth he carried. Simon the Zealot, once a revolutionary, he carried his zeal into the gospel, preaching across North Africa and Persia. Some say he was sawn in half, others say he was crucified. His passion, however, never died. Matthias, chosen to replace Judas, he preached in modern-day Georgia and possibly Ethiopia. He was stoned and then beheaded, but he stood firm in his calling. These men, ordinary, flawed, afraid, became world changers. They were not promised safety, they were promised purpose, and in the face of death, they chose to live for him. They carried a message stronger than fear, more powerful than kings, a message we still carry today. So tell me, if they could stand so bold in the face of darkness, what are we doing with the same light they left behind?